In the quiet moments between the hustle of everyday life, some secrets refuse to stay hidden. What if the one person you trust most in the world has been holding on to a truth that could change everything? Amy never thought she'd find herself in this situation, discovering letters that weren't meant for her eyes. But some things once uncovered can never be forgotten. The truth is out, and now the pieces of Amy's world are shattering. It's a bright morning on the Heartland Ranch. The kind of day where the sun filters through the trees, casting soft shadows over the land. Amy walks into the barn, her boots crunching softly against the gravel as she moves. She's just finished feeding the horses and is tidying up the space. The barn smells of hay and leather, a comforting scent that makes her feel at home. But today, something's different. There's an unusual box tucked under a pile of old horse blankets in the corner. Amy's curiosity pulls her toward it, her hands brushing the dusty surface of the box before she pulls it out. At first glance, it looks like an old container, nothing too special. But as she opens the lid, her heart skips a beat. Inside are several envelopes, yellowing with age, carefully stacked on top of each other. Amy's fingers trace the edges of one letter, and for a brief moment, she hesitates. Something feels off, but her curiosity is too strong to ignore. She picks up the first envelope. It's addressed to Ty, the handwriting so familiar, yet oddly distant. Her throat tightens as she slowly tears open the envelope. The rustling sound of paper fills the otherwise silent barn, and as she pulls the letter free, she can't help but wonder what this could be. Could it be from Lyndy? She knows the bond between her and Ty is strong, but Amy never thought they would have hidden something like this from her. Unfolding the letter, she begins to read. At first, it seems like a simple message, nothing too out of the ordinary. But as her eyes move down the page, the words begin to hit her harder than she expected. The letter isn't just a casual note. It's filled with raw emotion, thoughts that Lyndy never shared with anyone. Ty, the letter starts. I don't know how to say this, but every time I see you, my heart races in a way that feels both painful and beautiful. I've never told you this, but I think I've been in love with you for a long time. Amy's breath catches in her throat. She reads the words again, her mind racing. Lyndy has always been kind to her, almost like a little sister, always there with a smile and a helping hand. But this changes everything. Amy's fingers tremble as she continues reading. The letter goes on to describe Lyndy's feelings of confusion, of being torn between her love for Ty and her loyalty to Amy. Lyndy talks about how she's never dared to confess her feelings, knowing that Ty and Amy are together. But still, every time she sees him, she can't help but wish for something more. I've kept this secret because I never want to hurt you, Amy, the letter concludes. But it's becoming harder to keep it inside. I don't know what to do anymore. Amy's heart pounds in her chest as the weight of Lyndy's words settles over her. The letter feels like a slap to her face, but not because of anger. It's the heartbreak, the realization that someone so close to her has been holding on to a secret like this. The silence in the barn grows heavy, and for a long moment, Amy can't move. What does this mean for her and Ty? How could Lyndy keep this from her for so long? The questions flood her mind, but the answer isn't easy. The room feels smaller now, the air thicker, and Amy's hands shake as she sets the letter down on the wooden table in front of her. She closes her eyes, taking a deep breath to steady herself. But no matter how hard she tries, she can't shake the feeling that everything is about to change. She stands there for a moment, the letter still in front of her, wondering what to do next. Should she confront Lyndy? Should she talk to Ty? Or should she keep this secret to herself, not ready to face the truth just yet? The choice feels impossible. But Amy knows that no matter what, her life, her relationship with Ty will never be the same again. And that thought alone makes her stomach twist. The barn is eerily quiet now, a soft rustling of the wind outside, the only sound breaking the stillness. Amy stands motionless for a moment, the first letter from Lyndy lying in front of her. The weight of the words still presses down on her chest, but she can't stop herself. Her fingers reach for another letter in the box. It feels almost like a compulsion, as if something deep inside her is urging her to keep going. To uncover more of the truth, even if it might destroy her, Amy pulls the next letter from the stack, this one a little more worn than the first. The envelope is crinkled, and the paper inside feels delicate under her fingertips. As she tears it open, she can already feel a deep pit forming in her stomach. The letter is addressed to Ty again, but this time, the handwriting seems more urgent, more desperate. With a hesitant breath, Amy unfolds it, her eyes scanning the familiar words. It's another confession from Lyndy, but this time, the tone is heavier, filled with a deeper sadness that catches Amy off guard. The first letter had been filled with longing, but this one is full of pain. Ty, I don't know how to start this letter. It begins, I've been lying to myself for so long. It's not just love I feel for you, but a kind of ache in my heart that I can't explain. I've tried to bury it, tried to tell myself that you and Amy are perfect together, that I'm just a small part of the picture. But the truth is, every day feels like I'm carrying a weight I can't lift. Every time I see you, I can't stop myself from wishing you could see me the way I see you. Not just as a friend, not just as someone who's always there, but as someone who could be more. Amy's breath hitches, and she feels the room spin slightly. She reads the words again, unsure if her eyes are deceiving her. Lyndy's love for Ty wasn't just a passing feeling. It was deep, it was real, and it had been festering in the background all along, hidden behind smiles and casual conversations. Lyndy wasn't just in love with Ty, she was drowning in it. As Amy continues to read, Lyndy's voice seems to echo in her mind. I hate myself for feeling this way, Lyndy writes. I hate that I've let myself fall so deeply for someone who will never feel the same. But I can't help it, Ty. Every time I see you with Amy, I feel like I'm losing a part of myself. I know it's wrong, and I've tried to bury it, but I can't anymore. You deserve to know, even if I'll never have the courage to say it to your face. The rawness of the letter stings. Amy feels like she's intruding on something sacred, something that Lyndy had never intended for anyone to see. But as she reads, she feels the weight of Lyndy's secret pressing on her. This wasn't just a fleeting crush. This was something real, something that Lyndy had carried in silence, all the while supporting Amy and Ty's relationship. She'd been quietly suffering, unable to share her pain. Amy's hands tremble as she folds the letter back into its envelope. She feels a strange mix of empathy and betrayal. She's heartbroken for Lyndy, knowing that she's been holding on to this for so long. But at the same time, Amy can't help but feel the sting of betrayal. How could Lyndy keep this from her? How could she hide something so important? Something that had clearly been eating away at her for so long. The barn suddenly feels suffocating, and Amy takes a step back, her chest tight. She looks around, searching for something to ground her, but nothing seems familiar anymore. The walls of the barn, once a place of comfort, now seem like a prison, trapping her in this moment of painful realization. As the wind picks up outside, Amy's mind races. She thinks back to all the time she and Lyndy had shared, the conversations, the laughter. How much of it had been real? How much of it had been tainted by Lyndy's hidden feelings for Ty? It's as if the foundation of her relationship with Lyndy is cracking right in front of her eyes, and she's powerless to stop it. But there's no denying the truth that's staring her in the face now. Lyndy had been in love with Ty for as long as Amy had known her. And despite the pain it caused, Lyndy had kept it hidden, buried deep inside, not wanting to ruin their friendship, not wanting to destroy the happiness that Amy and Ty shared. Amy stands frozen for a long moment, staring at the letters in her hand. She wants to scream, to cry, to throw them away and forget she ever saw them. But she knows she can't. The truth is out now, and there's no going back. The damage has already been done, and the weight of Lyndy's unspoken love is now hers to carry, too. She walks toward the table, the letters still clutched in her hands, and sets them down gently. As she looks at them one last time, she realizes something else. Lyndy isn't the only one who's been hiding something. Amy's heart aches as she comes to the painful realization that Ty has been living with this secret as well. How long has he known? How long has he been aware of Lyndy's feelings and kept it from her? The questions swirl in her mind like a storm, but Amy can't find the answers. All she knows is that everything has changed. The truth is out, and nothing will ever be the same again. The letters sit on the table in front of her, their weight heavier than any words can describe. Amy stares at them, the sharp edges of reality cutting through the stillness around her. She can still feel the lingering warmth of the sun filtering through the barn windows. But inside, a coldness settles in her chest. She's afraid. Afraid of what the letters mean for her and Ty, afraid of what the next step is. With trembling hands, Amy folds the letters carefully, tucking them into the envelope. She can't keep them out in the open any longer. She feels like she's betrayed Lyndy by reading them, but at the same time, she can't shake the feeling that she needed to know. As she slides the box back under the pile of horse blankets, Amy's thoughts spiral. She's been in love with Ty for years, but what if he feels differently now? What if Lyndy's secret feelings have been gnawing at him the way they've gnawed at her? Was this something he'd been carrying all along? Something he hadn't told her? Her thoughts are interrupted when she hears footsteps approaching from outside. She looks up to see Ty walking through the barn door, his face lighting up when he spots her, but something's different. Amy can see the hint of concern in his eyes as he walks toward her, his usual confident demeanor faltering slightly. "Hey, you okay?" Ty asks, his voice gentle, almost as if he already senses something is off. Amy hesitates, unsure of what to say. She can feel the heaviness in the air between them, the unspoken tension that neither of them has acknowledged yet. She forces a smile, trying to mask the storm brewing inside her, but it doesn't quite reach her eyes. "Yeah, just thinking," Amy answers, her voice quieter than usual. She looks away, trying to avoid his gaze. Her heart is racing, her pulse quickening. She wants to confront him. She needs to know the truth. But she's terrified of what that truth might be. Ty doesn't buy it. He steps closer, his hand reaching for her shoulder in a comforting gesture. "Amy, what's going on? You're acting weird." For a brief moment, Amy feels like she might just break. She wants to tell him everything, the letters. It's the words that have torn through her heart, but the words are stuck in her throat, tangled up with the confusion and hurt. I found something," she finally says, her voice barely above a whisper. Her eyes dart back to the table, the box where the letters are hidden. She wants to tell him everything, but she doesn't know how. Ty's brow furrows. "What did you find?" he asks, his voice soft but serious. Amy's throat tightens, and she can feel the lump forming as she swallows. She wants to look him in the eye, but instead, she turns her gaze to the barn door, as if looking for a way to escape the storm inside her. "Lyndy's letters," she says, her voice shaking just slightly. Ty freezes. His hand falls away from her shoulder, and his face goes pale. Amy doesn't have to say anything more. The silence between them is deafening, and in that silence, Amy can feel everything they've built together begin to crumble. The weight of the truth is too much for both of them to bear. "Amy," Ty starts, his voice low and strained. He runs a hand through his hair, the tension in his posture now unmistakable. "I never meant for you to find those." Me's heart races, her pulse pounding in her ears. "How long have you known?" she asks, her voice barely a whisper, but the words cut through the air like a knife. Ty looks at her, his eyes filled with a mixture of guilt and sorrow. "I didn't want to keep this from you, Amy," he says, his words slow and careful. "But I've known for a while, Lyndy. She's always had feelings for me. I didn't know what to do with it at first. I didn't want to hurt anyone." The admission stings, and Amy feels her chest tighten as she tries to process his words. How long has this been going on? Why didn't you tell me?" Amy finally manages, her voice trembling with emotion. "Why didn't you say something sooner?" Ty's face tightens with regret. "I never wanted you to feel like you had to choose. I didn't want you to think I had feelings for her, or that it would come between us. I thought it was better to leave it alone." Amy shakes her head, feeling like she's been knocked off balance. "So you let her suffer in silence? You let her write letters to you, and you didn't do anything about it? You didn't tell me any of this?" Ty steps forward, reaching out to her. "Amy, I didn't know how to handle it. I was trying to protect all of us. I never wanted you to find out like this. I never wanted you to be hurt." But Amy pulls back, her eyes filled with a mix of hurt and confusion. "It's too late for that, Ty," she whispers. "The hurt is already here." Tension in the barn grows thicker with every passing second. Amy can't look at him anymore. The trust that had always been there between them is slipping away, replaced with a cold, unshakable distance. I thought I knew everything about you, Amy says, her voice breaking slightly. I thought we had no secrets. But now I don't know who you are. Ty opens his mouth to respond, but the words don't come. There's nothing left to say. In the silence that follows, Amy feels the weight of everything that's happened. The love, the lies, the secrets. And she knows that things will never be the same again. Her heart aches as she looks at him one last time before walking away, the sound of her footsteps echoing in the empty barn. Ty watches her go, helpless, knowing that no matter how hard he tries, he can never undo the damage that has been done. The barn door creaks slightly as Amy walks toward it, the letters still burning a hole in her pocket. They're a weight too much to carry for much longer. Each step feels heavier than the last, and as she moves past the rows of hay bales and empty stalls, the familiar, comforting smell of the barn only makes her feel more distant from everything she's ever known. It's as if the walls themselves have closed in on her. She's suffocating under the pressure of the truth she's uncovered. She knows she can't keep running from it. She can't pretend everything is fine anymore. It's time to face it head on, to confront the one person who might hold the key to everything that's falling apart. Amy's hands shake as she makes her way toward Lyndy's small room in the corner of the barn. She's been putting this moment off for too long, but the words are already forming in her mind, and they're impossible to ignore. When Amy knocks on the door, it creaks open almost immediately. Lyndy's face lights up when she sees Amy standing there, but the smile quickly fades as she notices the look on Amy's face, the hurt, the confusion, the heartbreak. For a moment, there's silence, as if neither of them knows how to begin. "Hey, Amy, what's wrong?" Lyndy asks, her voice light, but there's an edge to it, as if she already knows something is coming. She steps back, opening the door wider, inviting Amy inside. Amy stands there for a moment, the air thick with tension. She can feel the letters burning in her pocket, as if they're calling out for Lyndy to hear them, for the truth to finally be spoken aloud. She takes a deep breath, trying to steady her shaking hands. But the words come out in a rush, like a dam that's finally burst open. "I know," Amy says, her voice barely above a whisper. "I know about the letters, Lyndy." The silence that follows is deafening. Lyndy freezes, her eyes widening as her face goes pale. She stands there for a few long seconds, unsure of how to respond, before her gaze drops to the floor. She can't meet Amy's eyes. That's when Amy knows the truth. It's worse than she imagined. "I never wanted you to find out like this," Lyndy says, her voice breaking. "I never meant for you to get hurt." Amy feels her heart crack as she watches Lyndy's face crumble. She can see the guilt and the shame in her eyes, and for a moment, she wants to reach out, to tell Lyndy that it's going to be okay. But then, she remembers the words in the letters. The raw pain Lyndy has kept hidden for so long, and the realization hits her like a punch to the stomach. "You should have told me," Amy says, her voice shaking now. "All this time, you've been hiding it from me, pretending everything was fine, and She pauses, trying to steady herself. "I didn't know, Lyndy. I didn't know." Lyndy steps forward, her eyes pleading for Amy to understand. "I never wanted to hurt you, Amy. I swear. I thought if I kept it to myself, everything would stay the same. I didn't want to lose you." The words hang in the air, and Amy feels the weight of them crushing her. She's always known that Lyndy was close to Ty, but this is something else entirely. The letters she read were more than just a crush. They were Lyndy's unspoken love, a love that she had never dared to share with anyone, least of all Amy. Amy's mind races, the confusion overwhelming her. How could Lyndy have kept this secret for so long? How could she have stood by, pretending to be just a friend, while her heart ached for Ty? Amy thought she knew everything about the people she loved, but now it feels like the ground beneath her is shifting. Like everything she thought was true is falling apart. "Why didn't you just tell me?" Amy repeats, her voice a little louder this time, the pain evident in every word. "Why did you keep it from me? I would have understood. I would have helped you." Lyndy shakes her head, tears brimming in her eyes. "I didn't want to ruin everything. I didn't want to be the one who came between you and Ty. I thought if I kept quiet, it would all just go away. But it didn't, Amy. It never went away." Amy looks down, her mind racing. She's not sure if she feels more angry or heartbroken. She wants to be angry, to lash out at Lyndy for keeping this secret, but a part of her understands. She understands the pain Lyndy must have felt, carrying a love so deep, so powerful, but also knowing it could never be returned. The evening sun casts long shadows across the barn, and the light seems almost too bright against the darkness that has settled inside. Amy, she stands in the middle of the open space, surrounded by the sounds of the world moving around her, but everything feels muffled, distant. Her heart feels heavy, as though it's been weighed down with the unspoken truths of the past few days. She can still hear Lyndy's voice in her mind, the raw emotion in her words, the guilt, the sorrow, and Ty, his eyes full of regret when he spoke, his voice trembling with every apology. But it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change the fact that everything is different now. Amy feels as though she's standing on the edge of a cliff, looking down at a life that feels unfamiliar, a life that's been altered beyond recognition. She takes a deep breath, steadying herself. There's only one thing left to do, and she knows it's not going to be easy. But the weight of the secret, the burden of carrying the truth without letting it slip into the light, is too much for her to bear. She can feel it gnawing at her, pulling her in every direction. She walks out of the barn, her boots crunching against the gravel, the sharp sound echoing in the silence of the evening. The cool air hits her face, but it does little to ease the storm inside her. The path ahead is uncertain, and as she walks toward the house, she can't help but feel the eyes of the world on her, watching her every step. She's always been able to handle things on her own aim. Fleming is strong, resilient, and capable of weathering any storm. But this storm, this one, is different. Ty is sitting on the porch when she arrives, his silhouette framed by the soft glow of the evening sky. He's looking down, his hands resting on his knees, and for a moment, Amy wonders if he even knows she's there. She hesitates, standing at the bottom of the stairs, the weight of the letters and the truth still pressing on her chest. There's 1,000 things she wants to say, 1,000 questions that demand answers, but she doesn't know where to begin. Ty looks up when he hears her footsteps. His face is tired, eyes full of the same regret that's been there since she confronted him. He stands up slowly, his movements heavy, as if he's afraid to make any sudden moves. Amy, he starts, but his voice falters. He doesn't know what to say anymore. The words are too heavy. The silence between them is too thick for either of them to cut through. Amy swallows hard, her throat dry. "I've been thinking," she says, her voice quiet but steady, "about everything. About the letters, about what you've been hiding from me." Ty's eyes darken with guilt. "Amy, I never meant for this to happen. I didn't want you to find out like this, and I didn't want to hurt you. I should have told you sooner." Amy holds up her hand, stopping him. "It's not just about what you should have done, Ty. It's about what's happened now. The truth is out, and I can't pretend that things are the same anymore." Ty opens his mouth to respond, but the words die in his throat. He's tried to fix things, tried to apologize, but nothing he says feels like enough. Amy turns to look at the horizon. The sky is now painted in shades of pink and orange. It's a beautiful sight, but it feels hollow now, like everything she's known is fading away with the light. She takes another step forward, her voice barely above a whisper. "I don't know what to do," she admits. "I don't know how to move forward from this. I don't know if I can forgive you. I don't know if I can forgive Lyndy. Everything is so broken, Ty. I don't know how to fix it." Ty's chest tightens, and for the first time, Amy sees just how broken he is. He steps closer, but Amy holds her hand out, a silent plea for space. She's not ready to be close to him. "Not yet, Amy," he says softly. "I love you. You have to know that. Everything I've done, I did because I thought it was what was best for us. But I see now. I see how much pain I've caused, and I'm so sorry." Amy's heart aches at his words. She's always known Ty loved her, but there's something in the way he says it now, something in his eyes that feels like a farewell. The air between them is thick with unsaid words, and Amy's heart breaks at the thought of losing him. But she knows deep down that she's already lost something far more important than Ty's love. She's lost the trust she once had, the bond they shared. And that's something that can't be fixed so easily. I don't know if we can go back to how things were, she says quietly, her eyes welling with tears. I don't know if I can look at you the same way after all of this. Ty's face falls, and for a moment, Amy thinks he might fall to his knees. But he stays standing, his shoulders slumping in defeat. There's no way to undo the hurt. No way to take back the words that have been said, the feelings that have been exposed. I don't expect things to be the same, Ty replies, his voice rough. But I'm not giving up on us, Amy. I love you, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make this right. Amy turns to face him, her chest tightening. She wishes she could believe him. She wishes she could find a way to forgive him and move forward. But the truth is, the path ahead isn't clear. She doesn't know what to do with the broken pieces of her heart. And she doesn't know if Ty can be the one to put them back together. I need time, Amy whispers, her voice cracking. I need time to figure this out. I don't know if I can be with you right now. Ty's face crumples and Amy feels a pang of guilt. But the truth is, she's not sure if they can ever go back. Not after everything that's happened. I understand, Ty says, his voice barely audible. I'll wait. I'll wait as long as it takes. Amy nods, her heart breaking as she turns away from him. She knows that no matter what happens next, nothing will ever be the same. The trust they once had is gone, and the future she envisioned is slipping away, piece by piece, as she walks away from the porch. Amy feels the weight of her decision hanging over her. She doesn't know if it's the right one. She doesn't know if it's the end or just the beginning of something else. But for now, she knows one thing. She needs to find herself again, away from the shadows of lies and heartbreak that have clouded everything she thought she knew. The days after the confrontation feel like a blur. Amy tries to go about her usual routine, feeding the horses, checking on the animals, even talking to her dad, but nothing feels the same. The weight of the secret, the betrayal, the unspoken tension between her, Ty, and Lyndy hangs over everything like an invisible cloud. She feels like she's drowning in it, unable to breathe freely. Each task she completes feels like it's done through a haze. The normality of life slipping away from her hands, but it's that one moment, in the quiet hours before dusk, when Amy finds herself standing on the edge of the same barn where everything started, the place that used to feel like home, the place that now seems like a stranger's house. It's in the silence, under the stretch of fading sunlight. She realizes something she hasn't been able to admit to herself before. She can't outrun this. She can't keep pretending everything is okay when it's not. The weight of it all is finally starting to crack through her exterior. For the past few days, she's kept it all in her thoughts, her feelings, her questions, but now, standing there, she knows she can't keep it bottled up anymore. She has to make a choice. She has to decide if she can rebuild the trust with Ty, or if she's been too broken by the lies and secrets. She's tried to sort through the emotions, but they're tangled and raw. The love she feels for him is still there, but it's frayed at the edges, battered by the discovery of Lyndy's letters. The realization that Ty has known about her feelings all along, and the quiet pain of betrayal. The hardest part is that Amy knows she's not just hurt by Ty's actions, she's hurt by her own feelings. Because, despite everything, she still wants to believe in them. She wants to believe that the bond they shared was real, that the love they had could withstand the cracks that have formed between them. But can it? Can she really heal from this? Or is the trust shattered beyond repair? Just as she's lost in her thoughts, she hears a voice behind her, soft, hesitant yet unmistakable. Amy, it's Lyndy. The sound of her name feels like an echo in the quiet evening air. Amy doesn't turn immediately. She doesn't want to look at her, not yet. Not when the questions are still swirling in her mind, when the hurt is too raw, too fresh. She doesn't want to face her friend, the one who's been a part of her life for so long. And yet, in this moment, feels like a stranger. Lyndy steps closer, and Amy can feel her presence like a weight at her back. I know I don't deserve to be here, Lyndy continues, her voice trembling, but I just need you to know, I'm so sorry for everything. I never meant to hurt you. Amy takes a deep breath and slowly turns to face her. There's something different in Lyndy's eyes now, something more vulnerable, more broken than Amy has ever seen. She's never seen Lyndy like this, not the girl who's always been strong, confident, the one who's never been afraid to speak her mind. But now, all that confidence is gone, replaced by guilt and regret. "You've always been my friend, Lyndy," Amy says, her voice low but steady. "I don't know if I can forgive you for what you did, but I don't want to lose you." The sun dips below the horizon, casting the sky in a deep, tranquil blue as Amy stands at the edge of the ranch. Looking out at the land she's always known, yet feels so far away from now. The events of the past few days have been a whirlwind of emotions, confrontations, heartache, unspoken truths, and she feels like she's been standing in the eye of a storm, caught between the past and an uncertain future. For a moment, everything is still. The only sound is the soft rustle of leaves in the trees and the distant calls of the horses as they graze in the field. It's a peaceful evening, one that feels almost too calm for the chaos that has been brewing inside her. But as she takes a deep breath, Amy realizes that this moment of stillness, however fleeting, is exactly what she needs right now. Time to think, time to breathe, and most of all, time to heal. Amy glances over her shoulder at the barn. Where everything started, the discovery of the letters, the confrontation with Lyndy, the painful unraveling of truths. She's not sure if she's ready to face Ty or Lyndy again just yet. The hurt is still too fresh, the wound's still too deep. But what she does know is that she can't keep running away from the truth. No matter how much it stings, she takes another breath and walks toward the barn. Her footsteps steady but slow, as if she's walking toward something both familiar and unknown. The barn doors creak slightly as she opens them, and the dim light inside feels strangely comforting. She glances around at the familiar sights, the hay bales stacked neatly in the corner, the saddles hanging from hooks on the wall, but it all feels different now. This place, which once felt like home, now feels like the place where everything changed. As she walks further in, her thoughts turn to Ty. She doesn't know what their future holds, doesn't know if they'll ever find their way back to each other after everything that's happened. But in that moment, standing in the barn, she feels a strange sense of resolve. She's not ready to give up on them just yet, but she knows it will take time to rebuild trust, time to let the hurt fade into the background, whether that means reconciliation or something else. She's not sure, but she does know one thing: the road ahead isn't clear, and it might be a long, lonely one, but she's ready to walk it. Because she's not just fighting for her relationship with Ty, she's fighting for herself. For the Amy who's always been strong, always been independent, and always been able to stand on her own 2 feet. She might not have all the answers, but she has herself, in that, for now, it's enough. Just as she's about to leave the barn, she hears a familiar sound, the soft clip-clop of hooves. She looks up and sees Ty walking toward her, his posture hesitant, as if he's unsure if he should even be there. But he's there. "And that's something, Amy," he says, his voice low, carrying a weight of its own. I'm not asking for forgiveness right now. I just want you to know that I'm here, and I'll be here, waiting, whenever you're ready. I'll do whatever it takes to make this right." Amy looks at him, really looks at him. His face is tired, his eyes filled with regret, but there's a sincerity in his voice that she can't ignore. She's not ready to let him back in completely, but she sees the pain in his eyes, the same pain she feels. It's the kind of pain that only comes when you realize you've hurt someone you love. "I don't know what the future holds, Ty," Amy says, her voice soft but firm. "But I'm not giving up on us. Not yet. I need time. Time to figure out who I am in all of this. And time to figure out if we can find our way back to each other." Ty nods slowly, his eyes searching hers. "I understand, and I'll wait. I'll wait for as long as it takes, Amy. I won't give up on us." Amy offers him a small, hesitant smile. It's not a promise, not yet, but it's a start, and that's enough for now, as Ty stands there, watching her. The weight of the unspoken words between them still lingers in the air, but for the first time in days, Amy feels like she's taking the first step towards something new. She doesn't know where it will lead, but she's ready to find out. The camera slowly pulls away, capturing Amy and Ty standing on the edge of the barn together, the fading light casting long shadows across the land. It's a moment of quiet reflection, a moment that holds the weight of everything they've been through. And everything that's still to come? The screen fades to black, and the Heartland logo appears, signaling the end of this chapter and the beginning of the next. Voiceover Amy's thoughts. Sometimes, the hardest part isn't the decision itself. It's the waiting, the uncertainty. But maybe, just maybe, the heart can heal if we give it time. And if we're brave enough to face the truth, no matter how much it hurts. Teaser for next episode. Will Amy find the strength to forgive Ty? Can Lyndy and Amy rebuild their friendship after everything that's been said? The journey of healing is never easy, but it's one that can lead to the most unexpected places. Find out what happens next, only on Heartland FF. And credits roll.